Well, welcome everybody. It seems like minutes since we've talked to each other. I see a lot of folks in the chat that were over there on the Storytellers a little bit ago. It's good to see you guys, and there's plenty of folks here from our morning 31 Days of Monsters as well, which I would expect nothing less. So these watch parties are a lot of fun. Uh, I was saying on the other show there that I'm sort of hoping this isn't that good, so we can have more fun with it. Last week's the Last Man on Earth was actually quite good, and it looked even better after doing the Omega Man this morning. Um, so tonight we have Bride of the Gorilla, classic film. I can't remember if it was Frank Capra that did this. No, I think it was 1951. This film was made. It has some stars that were on the wane and stars that were on the rise. Like Raymond Burr is in this. And at this point in his career, he was playing a lot of heavies. And a few years later, he went on to fame as Perry Mason, of course, as a good guy. But he was also another heavy in Rear Window. In the same year, 1951, he was also a really nasty dude in His Kind of Woman. Then we have Lon Chaney Jr., whose career had sort of been winding down at this point after Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein. The quality of his films seemed to wane, and he had some problems. A serious drinking problem being one of them. Then Tom Conway is in this. He played the Falcon in those, I guess, shorts or serials, low budget, B level mystery shows. He's also the brother of George Sanders. I can't remember who has the family name, whether it's Conway or Sanders. I think it's Sanders. And of course, we know Sanders is Mr. Freeze on Batman. He was also the father / doctor in Children. What was that British one? Village of the Damned. Then there was Children of the Damned too. But he didn't make it out of the first one, so he wasn't in the second one. So let's give a few moments here for folks to come into the theater, if you will. We'll say hi to the chat. Evil One is getting his popcorn ready. Dan Genovese, he's going to pour some whiskey. Attaboy. Dr. Mask, hail Graham, hail chat, thrill my gorilla. Alice Cooper, quote, I guess. And he's also finishing his beer. Anthony Gonzalez Clark. Hello, Anthony. Yo, what up, Graham? What up, my dudes in the chat? Also, best way to reach you, Graham, is at the Compass Comics email. Yep. Graham at compasscomics.com. Hyper Kaiju says, greeting, monster fans. The Quote Meister himself, Rob Fellows, is here. He says, greetings, Graham Nolan and Gorilla Grams. Taglines, a blonde beauty and a savage beast, alone in the jungle. Her marriage vows were more than fulfilled. That almost sounds pornographic. Oh, bummer. He's laying out his old creepy eerie mags near his dehumidifier musty bunch I bought. Oh, that stinks. I hate when you buy a bunch of stuff and you take them out of the bags and you smell that mustiness instead of that wonderful pulpy smell. Ellie Munoz says he's never seen this one. I'm willing to bet nobody has seen it. Are you the only one that wants to see more Misty? No. And I want to draw more Misty. And by the way, it's MYSTY. Southern Cecil is here. Hey, amigo. How you doing? Cigar Gangster says, good evening, everyone. H for Heretic is here. Says, give us some schlock. Now, that's the plan. We're going to schlock out tonight. Neon Todd Studio says, hello. Yeah, it will be better after I Am Legend. I had been debating whether to nix that one for tomorrow. What do you guys think? Here's what I was thinking. Since it's a Richard Matheson script, the original one, obviously, the book, I Am Legend, swapping it out for another Richard Matheson script, and I was thinking of The Night Stalker with Darren McGavin. Let me know what you guys think. Evil One says he can't get up at 7 a.m. to catch 31 Days of Monsters, but watching the reruns. Aha! You don't have to get up at 7. You have to get up at 8. So you get an extra hour. So now you can watch it live. Demon Eyes says Lon Chaney Jr. is the best. He was directed by Kurt Siodmak. Graham Nolan, the writer of The Wolfman. That's right. And Kurt also wrote and directed the movie we're about to watch. Normie Nerd says, good evening. He's never heard of this movie. Well, we might find out why. Dead Punk Gage is here. Stippling Vaughn. I hope this isn't a do a shot every time stock footage is used kind of movie. So if so, I can't compete. Hyper Kaiju wants to know what everybody is drinking tonight. Put that in the chat. Your beverage of choice. Vaughn Coleman is pouring. Rusty the Boy Wonder's got some Reese's Pieces. Southern Cecil says, if this movie is too scary, I need someone to hold me. Well, you can count me out. What the heck is going on here? Hello. Stat Zero. Having problems hearing? Is there any problem? Is that what you're referring to? I don't know. Rusty the Boy Wonder says hello to everybody. Well, Evil One says, I Am Legend sucks. Go with Night Stalker. Hyper Kaiju says, we did Night Stalker in 2020. I know. But we might have new audience members who have not seen it. Stat Zero says, who would say no to Kolchak? Alligator People is a great one. That one is a fun one. Yeah. I kill you, alligator man. Ooh. Spaten Oktoberfest. Nice choice. Love me some German beers. That's what I had on our last party. I had a Spaten lager. All right, Enosh just got his popcorn ready. Evil One's getting his Jim Beam and Coke. Nice. Dr. Mask is out of beer and he's switching to tequila. Redneck Riviera for Southern Cecil. Rob watched I Am Legend tonight, so he will rip holes in it anyway. Okay. All righty, team. Let's see here. Oh, hold on. Let me get this. I had it set up. Come on, what the hell's going on here? All right, share screen. Let's put this on our theater mode. The artist formerly known as Hey Mike, I have my computer in the back of my truck tonight going full drive-in version. That's awesome. Well played, sir. Evelyn said, where's Malin? I heard he was going to join us tonight. Oh, well, he should. That'd be awesome. All right. Hyper Kaiju says, give us schlock, and schlock I shall give. Here we go, folks. Bride of the Gorilla. Barbara Payton, boy, look her up. She had a terrible life. Oh, Woody Strode's in this. Cool. Another good catch. Stock footage. Start drinking. Shots. Well, we're going to be stewed before if we're doing this for stock footage. We're going to be stewed.
This is jungle, lush, green, alive with incredible growth, as young as day, as old as time. I, Terrell, Police Commissioner of Vitman County, which borders the Amazonas River, know it as well as any man will ever know. Beautiful. But I have also learned that it can be venomous, deadly, something terrifying. Something of prehistoric ages when monstrous superstitions ruled the minds of men. Something that has haunted the world for millions of years rose out of that verdant labyrinth. Let me tell you how the jungle itself took the law into its own hands. This was Van Gelder Manor, built to stand against the searing sun, built to shelter generations of Van Gelders. It also has become prey to the powers of the jungle. That terrifying strength that arose to punish a man for his crime.
All right, now we're picking up.
Hello, Barney.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Van Gelder. It's been an unpleasant day. Your husband pays me to run his plantation, not to be killed by the heat.
It's part of the job.
Rubber's going up in price every day. I can't get enough workmen. When I do, they run away to go into business for themselves. Oh, when they had slaves.
Aren't we all slaves?
Sure.
Not me. I'm free.
You call this freedom? With bars in front of the windows?
No, thank you, Lavina.
This is no place for a beautiful woman. A woman like you ought to travel, wear pretty clothes, have some fun. Life runs away too fast if you don't hold on to it with both hands.
My life is here with my husband. After all, he did offer to share his name and his home with me.
You're confusing gratitude with love, Mrs. Van Gelder. There are other things much more important. A woman wants to be loved.
Hello, Klaus. Hello, Doctor.
Nice to see you, Dina. I was looking for you, Barney. You should have been at the warehouse.
The heat got me down, Mr. Van Gelder.
There was an accident, Barney. The man got hurt.
They always get hurt. That's the chance they take.
This one died. He wouldn't have died if you'd been there.
I can't be...
Was he hurt or did he die?
Don't fight before dinner.
Pardon me, Dina. White people shouldn't live too long in the jungle. Brings out their bad side, their jealousies, impatience. Clarence isn't well. I told you, it's his low blood pressure. You can hardly hear his heartbeats.
I haven't had a chance for quite a while to get that close to his heart.
Dina, it's his complaint that you neglect him. You don't understand it.
Does he try to understand me? He's only too happy being left alone. He likes to read his books without me around to bother him. If you were married, you'd act differently, wouldn't you, be?
I was married once. Long ago.
You wouldn't know either, would you, Bob?
But that's another story.
We're just talking about marriage. What do you think about marriage?
Marriage is a contract. A civil contract, isn't it?
You mean it has nothing to do with love?
It's a relation either of sympathy or of conquest. But every couple isn't a pair.
You must have read that someplace.
Sure. Everybody knows I can't think of anything clever.
I, too, am not clever, Barney. But I know where to find wisdom.
I'm not sure, but I think that was a dig. Yeah, don't you just want to know more about nothing? All we know is he works at a rubber plant and somebody died.
The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
We had a case of smallpox down in the harbor, class. I think it'd be wise to inoculate all your workers.
You know about the complaint
Dr. Fauci at the table.
That's my own business, Mr. Van Gelder.
You're living in my house. I demand that you conduct yourself accordingly. You've not done so. You can pick up your pay and leave.
That's all right with me.
What's the matter? What are you mad at Barney for?
I don't want him here any longer.
Do you mind if I have my dinner first?
Excuse me, will you? Stay here.
What's gotten into him?
I'll find out.
Did you pick a fight with Claus today?
No. But I'm old enough not to be pushed around by anyone. I don't like his spies. That old woman, Al Long. 10 to 1, she gives him a report every day. I want to be treated right, that's all. Just because he has money doesn't mean he owns me.
Do go away. Don't leave.
That's all I need to know.
She's a rat.
Barney?
It's true. A couple of years later, he was Steve Martin,
Ask him to change his mind.
that wild and crazy reporter.
You know where I'm going.
You said you'd never leave me. Why didn't you say it?
Because you wanted to hear it.
You want to take dinner with you.
Be quiet. Don't leave me alone.
You shouldn't excite yourself.
What do you want me to do? Smile? Keep my eyes shut?
You do love her, don't you?
Without her, I have nothing.
You got rid of Barney Chavez, that was right. But still, I'd take her away from here. It's the climate. A woman buried in a place like this, you must understand if she gets a little mixed up.
You too like her, don't you?
Of course. She looks good to any man. That's a compliment to you. Listen to who's giving advice. My private life isn't perfect either. But then I live alone, so nobody cares. That makes the whole difference.
Barney Chavez. He's like a beast. An animal with animal instincts. I never thought, Tina, it would come to this.
You better go to bed. I should too. I don't like to see you taking so little care of yourself. But you'll be all right.
Thank you, Kent. Good night.
Good night.
Marina. Marina, what happened? Talk to me, my child.
Bonnie, he lied to me. He doesn't love me anymore.
I want you to stay with your people. But he will never hurt you again. Never.
This must be the Maria Ouspenskaya role. But she died before they made this.
What are you doing here?
Waiting. I wanted to talk to you.
I don't care to listen to anything you have to say.
You chose your time to talk, Van Gelder, in the presence of your wife, your doctor, and your servants. What I have to say, I wanted to say to you alone.
All right. Go on.
I've done a lot of good work for you.
Anything else?
You read from the Bible tonight, Van Gelder. But you didn't finish what you were reading.
I thought I'd made myself clear.
It goes on. Let them be confounded that persecute me. Bring upon them the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction.
I'm glad you remember something out of the Bible.
A man sometimes gets in a spot where he has to make a big decision, Van Gelder.
My decision's been made.
Mine, too. You're standing in my way. And Dina's.
Did she ask you to tell me that?
We love each other. What are you going to do about it?
Bonnie!
If you got time to lay there and say help, maybe you should just roll and get up. How about that?
You can't come in here. Are you insane?
I want to talk to you.
You've been hurt.
I'm leaving in the morning. You're coming with me.
That's Del Cross. I'm not afraid to talk to him.
He can't hold you here. This isn't a prison.
Where'll we go?
Does it matter? I can get a job anyplace.
Nobody will hire you around here. They all know Klaus. And they stick together, you know that.
The world's a lot bigger than this jungle.
Have a good night, Stat.
Barney, I'm afraid.
You'll be happy. I promise you. You'll be happy.
With these old man punching mitts, I can get a job anywhere. That's a good one.
Where shall be the murderer these eyes have seen? Where shall be Barney Chavez? He shall be like an animal that hunt in the jungle. The jungle shall hunt him to his death.
You insist, Mr. Chavez, that the last time you saw Mr. Van Gelder was in this room?
You have it in writing.
Yet footprints the size and shape of your own were found near the body. Are you sure that you weren't in the garden last night?
Why don't you come right out with what you want to say, Commissioner? Why don't you ask me if I killed Klaus van Gelder? You know I had a quarrel with him. You got witnesses for that, haven't you?
I have, that's true. But the evidence I have is not strong enough to bring charges against you. What is your opinion, Dr. Viet?
Klaus van Gelder died from shock and suffocation caused by snake venom. He was a sick man. It may well have been that he had a fainting spell in the garden and a snake attacked him. Anyway, that's my official report.
And your private opinion?
My private opinion is of no value.
It might have been that during the struggle, Mr. Chavez knocked Mr. Van Gelder down. The snake bit him. These reptiles often attack when frightened.
The doctor just told you Van Gelder died of suffocation caused by snake poison. That is official, isn't it?
You have a discoloration on your jaw. A fight, perhaps?
Yes, with one of my men.
What about?
Why don't you stick to the point? Why don't you arrest me?
I would, but for one thing. These leaves. They come from a plant called the Pé d'Iguane, the plant of evil. Do you know about such a plant?
No.
These leaves worry me. They're used to put an evil spell on people.
Now listen, Taro, don't accuse me of using magic.
I don't. Along, would you come here, please? I want you to answer me truthfully. What do you know about Mr. Van Gelder's death?
He was bit by the snake.
He was? How do you know?
I saw it.
You did? Then did you also see Mr. Chavez?
No. He was in Mrs. Van Gelder's room all the time.
Is this true, Mrs. Van Gelder?
Wow.
Yes. He came to say goodbye.
Dina. Well, this would seem to prove that
Ooh,
Mr.
that's
Chavez
good to
had
know.
nothing to do with Mr. Van Gelder's death. How long? Where is the plant that these leaves came from? You know it's against the law to own such a plant. It's dangerous poison.
You can't make her talk, Tara, unless she wants to. You know that.
I know. I guess we'll have to search her room. Nato, take Al along to her room and search it for a Pé d'Iguane plant.
There's Woody Strode.
As you say, there's no use asking her questions. I sometimes feel as though I don't even speak my own people's language. Since I became an official, I seem to be standing outside their code of law. The inquest is closed.
Oh, that was a whole lot of nothing.
It's here, in the chest. Would you like to have such a plan for your own?
It's against the law.
It wards of sickness, keeps away the evil spirit, brings money into the house.
I must destroy it, Al Long.
But his power also brings evil. If you hurt it, you are cursed. Your wife will fall sick. Your children die. I bring such a plan to your house tonight.
No, I don't want it. I don't believe in black magic.
Don't tell anybody I have such a plan.
No, I won't. But you keep away from my house. I don't want witches near my children.
Well, thankfully, Woody Strode got better. Marcus reminds us that, remember, that ant can move the rubber tree plant.
I'm glad how long saw it happen. I want you to get involved.
It was lucky, wasn't it?
Don't go away.
I won't. You know that.
Oh, Père de Goyen, cloud is mine. Change vanish Chavez into an animal. In his eyes he shall be an animal. He shall be an animal in the animal's eyes.
And the animal.
Is this your first marriage, Mr. Chavez?
My father used to say, try everything once. Once I marry, I'll stay married.
I've been married for 26 years. I keep my marriage going. My wife does the rest, and believe me, we both have to work at it.
Is it really true you
That guy sounds like the great Gildersleeve.
not like to ask questions. Why not, Mrs. Van Huysen? Yes, I've worked all over the world. Rio, London, Paris. I've never been to a nightclub. It must be exciting.
For the master.
May I drink? May I drink to you, neighbor? We're only 40 miles apart. That's practically door to door in this part of the world.
Well, I see you're getting service in your house.
Here's to good service.
I'm very unlucky. Every time I meet an attractive man, he's either married or just going to be married.
Better luck next time. Excuse me, Doc. From now on, it'll just be you and me. Nothing else matters. Nothing. Promise?
Yes, I do.
I've come a long way to find you.
What's all that about? Mr. Chavez, the papers are prepared. All you have to do is sign them and pay for the government stamp.
Every step in life starts with paying money. No, you sign first. I'm afraid you might change your mind.
How shall I sign? My maiden name?
Your legal name, Van Gelder.
He's turning into the Wolfman. Nobody else saw that? Larry Talbot's back there going, better you than me.
Barney, let me in. What happened? Close the door.
It's my hand.
What's the matter? Let me see. I don't see anything wrong with it.
It's all right. Yes, it's all right. But it hurt. Suddenly, it hurt bad.
Where did it hurt? In the fingers or...
I'm all right, don't worry. I'm all right.
Let's go back.
No, Tell him I got sick. Tell him I got a fever. Tell him anything you want.
You better lie down. I'll send Dina in.
No, I don't want to see anyone.
Are you sure you don't want to see him?
No. Now, leave me alone, will you?
All right.
Don't you like me?
Of course I like you.
Pour me a glass.
Sure.
Something's bothering you. You sorry you married me?
No. Why should I be? I never thought I'd have such a beautiful life.
You've changed so much.
Oh, no, I haven't. I haven't changed. Listen, Dina. Listen.
What is it?
Jungle.
Close the door. I don't want to hear it.
Sounds like music. You hear that? You hear that?
26 minutes in and no gorilla.
The bird with long red feathers.
I think we've been sold a bill of goods, folks.
Flies without making a noise.
Plenty of brides. No
The
gorilla.
voice gives it away.
I know it. It's about you.
I even hear the snakes. I have to leave.
Barney, you've got to feed me.
No, I haven't.
So long, Neon Todd
Well, you're
Studio.
taking the jungle
Sorry you
outside,
couldn't make
right?
it through.
You hear them? Dina. Go to bed, Dina. I'll be back soon.
If you love me, don't go.
I'll be back.
Barney, you can't leave me. Barney!
Well, nobody's going to confuse her with Barbara Stanwyck in her ability to act, that's for sure.
Barney, take him into the house quickly.
It's not my arm, it's not my eye. It's not my face.
Look, Dina.
I thought you'd never get here.
It's 100 miles away. How long's it been like this?
Ever since I found him in the garden.
When was that?
6 hours ago.
You must have a fever.
Oh, my head, they hurt. They hurt.
Yes, he complained about his hands before.
But the things he says don't make sense.
Things he says in his fever? Of course not. The face. Face in the water. Face. Watch out! That's all we can do for him now. He'll sleep now. Give him quinine when he wakes up. Happy?
Very. Barney loves me.
Okay, that's just
This is
terrible.
between my two marriages. And I love him.
Class was my friend.
What do you want me to say? I've already told you I'm unhappy that he had to die such a horrible death.
At such a convenient time.
Yes, at such a convenient time. Klaus died of shock and suffocation. Or would you like to change your diagnosis?
I know the cause of Klaas's death, but not the motive.
An accident. How long saw it happen?
She may have been lying.
It was an accident.
It must have been, since Barney was in your room at the time.
And you wish that wasn't the truth. A woman always knows a man's feelings about her. It's no use for it. Barney's my husband, for better or for worse.
Dina,
Pretty sure it's for worse.
Barney's going to be all right. I'll stop by in a few days. You know where to find me if you need me.
Thank you, Viet.
Good night.
Good night.
Hello, Tara. Hello, Doctor. Come in. Am I interrupting important affairs of state? No. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Eso es todo.
Sí, señor.
Have you heard of this big cat that's supposed to be around? Of course. Some say it's a puma. Others a
A
giant.
puma.
And still others say it's the sukarat. A sukarat? It's a new kind of animal to me. That's a famous jungle demon that tears living animals to shreds with its claws and then feeds upon them. Has been known to attack humans also. Hasn't so far, I hope. No. But I'm sure it will. You're sure someone will use this rumor to kill somebody. Blame it on the sukarat. It's happened before. It has? I closed the Van Gelder case today, officially. Death due to suffocation caused by snake venom. That's your report, Doctor. It's not my opinion. But of course, my opinion doesn't seem to carry much weight in this case. After all, you're only the police commissioner who would be interested in your opinion. You know, Doctor, I was born in this little town. I know. I sometimes regret that I went to university and then returned to this jungle with its superstitions. It only served to confuse me. You never impressed me that way, Taro. How can I help being confused? My native mind is filled with these superstitions. My legal mind was developed through books written by people without emotion. Yes, but justice must detach itself from emotion. Oh, that I realize. But I know that Barney Chavez murdered Van Gelder. I know it emotionally. I should arrest that man and charge him with murder. Why don't you? The case I have is not tight enough to get a conviction. I know that Al Long lied to protect him. But I also know that he cannot escape punishment. Why? The Sukarat. The Sukarat? The jungle demon? Taro, you're joking. You don't mean it. Barney Chavez will be brought to justice. The jungle will see to that. Well, the longer I live here, the less I understand you people.
What you mean, you people?
Hello? This is the commissioner. Oh, Mr. Van Horsen. On your plantation?
Right?
It's killed already? Oh, this is serious. Yes, I'll be right over. Immediately.
Yeah, it's like a hot weather
Goodbye.
canoe.
Senorita, mi pistola. What's all that about? 3 rubber tappers have already seen the Sukara.
They have.
I told you it would be like this. And here it is. It's killed already. Next time, it might be a human.
What does it look like, this mystical animal?
It takes various forms. But seriously, Doctor, why don't you come along? Talk to the people that have seen it. It'll enlarge your knowledge, and we might need a man of your profession around.
I wouldn't miss having a look at it for the world.
And maybe we'll grab lunch.
If these fools hadn't trampled all over the place like a herd of elephants, we would have found footprints.
Neck's been broken, teeth marks, hide's been torn to shreds.
Actually, it was a herd of elephants.
Come over here. Did you see this animal?
Yes, I have seen the animal.
Was it the jaguar?
No, doctor. It was huge and red.
Red.
Yes, it has a head like a man and teeth like an alligator.
What did I tell you, Doctor? The Sukara.
That it was. My wife saw it too. For a couple of nights, it was sneaking around our hut. It walks in his hind legs.
Like a man?
No, like a beast that walks like a man. Oh, that terrible voice. Not only I have heard it, my friends here have heard it too.
Well, there's only one thing to do. Set traps and see if we can catch the beast.
We have put many traps, all along the clearing and in the jungle.
Well, what did you use for bait?
Young goats.
Well, if you catch the Sukara, just call me. I'll sell it to a circus and make a fortune.
Lon Chaney is in this movie. I believe this is the same year. He was also in High Noon. So he goes from A-list to C-list.
Sorry to see you leave, Barney. I haven't left yet, Doctor. I'm still around. Where are you going to live? I hear Dina's mad about Rio. We haven't made up our minds.
Don't question him, Doctor, or he might reconsider selling the plantation.
I don't think so. The papers are already drawn. Tara will be here any moment to notarize them.
You can rely on Darrell. He's around when you need him, or when he thinks he should be around.
He has an intuitive sense. It's quite uncanny.
There he is. Talk about him and he pops up and never fails. How can you stand the jungle this long, Doctor?
I can't. But I signed a government contract for 5 years. It'll be over soon. So let me have a look at you.
What's the matter?
Your eyes, pupils, they worry me.
Nothing wrong with me. How are you, Commissioner?
Oh, as well as can be expected. I'll be glad when the rains come, though. Well, I have the papers all drawn up. All they lack is your signature.
I hope these are the final papers I must sign.
We do not sign the final papers.
That's right. I sign them. I'm the coroner.
Exactly.
I like how Tom Conway just kind of steps backwards out of camera.
Thank you, madame, but Alan doesn't like me to wear this kind of clothes. Then throw them away. Come in. Hello, Doctor.
Now I'm sure you're leaving. I didn't quite believe it before.
You didn't?
No, words often don't mean much, but when you see it, why,
Well, you'll be seeing us in Rio. Didn't you tell me you were leaving the government service?
yes, in a few months.
This is for you, Lorena. I think you'll find use for it someday.
Isn't that the dress you wore when you married Klaas?
Yes. That's why I want to get rid of it. Past is dead, Viet.
This just in. 47 minutes into a 56-minute movie,
Alone for a few minutes.
and still no gorilla for Bride of the Gorilla.
With you. I'm sorry,
This
madame.
message was brought to you as a public service announcement.
But What's wrong? You look serious.
I'm worried.
About me?
No. About Barney. He's not well.
It's the fever. He'll be all right once we get out of here.
Tell me, Dina, does he take drugs?
Why not? That's all.
I watched him today. His eyes,
What's the matter with his eyes?
dilation of the pupil. Certain drugs cause optical atrophy, sympathetic irritation, or weakness of the ocular nerve.
I don't understand a word.
He looks to me like a man who's been poisoned.
Poison?
I'm sure of it. I'd like to examine him, but
He'd never stand for that.
I know. It's almost impossible to make a diagnosis without chemical analysis. But all the symptoms seem to point to the fact that...
Wait here. I'll get him.
She's gonna poke somebody's eyes out with those two things.
Here I am with 100,000 in cash in my pocket, waiting for a man to pick it up.
Have you seen Barney?
Have we seen Barney? We thought he was with you.
No, the last time I saw him, he was talking to you. How long?
Where's Mr. Chavez?
He went away.
Went away.
I saw him crossing the garden for the jungle.
The way you walk is
Yeah.
Tony,
He should be back
through no
soon.
fault of your own. As the river meets the sea, so too shall you come to your predestined end.
He won't be back tonight. Till then, Hoyson, there's no use waiting.
But what's he doing in the jungle at nighttime? It's suicide.
It's suicide for me, too, waiting for him.
It's silly. I can't concentrate. 10 o'clock. I think we should send the servants out to find him. Something must have happened to him.
It's no use. He won't be back until late.
Then you tell Barney if he wants to sell his plantation to see me at my house. Tell him this is no way to behave, running away without an excuse.
Mrs. Chavez can sign the papers. She's the legal owner.
She could?
My husband's the boss in this house.
Well, I wish my wife could hear that. You tell Barney to show up tomorrow or our deal is off.
It would be nice if we could watch The Wolf Man, but that is not public domain. Universal beyond me.
I'm glad they left.
They left day before yesterday.
I've changed my mind. I'm not going to sell the plantation. I like it here.
Barney,
No use arguing. My mind's made up.
I won't stay here.
If you want to leave, I won't hold you.
Barney, you've been poisoned. Be sure of it.
Poisoned? He's been lying to you. Oh, don't tell me different. I've had my eyes open.
Why should he?
He's in love with you.
There's nothing between Viet and me, and you know it.
Doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm not happy here. I'm happy out there in the jungle.
Barney, please.
Why shouldn't I tell you? Why shouldn't I? Out there in the jungle. Out there, everything's different. I seem changed. My hands, my eyes. I can
What's
see
the over-under in Vegas on this?
the smallest leaf on top of the highest tree. I can climb as if I had wings. I can smell 1,000 smells. Flowers, plants, the animals. I'm strong and powerful. The jungle's my house. It belongs to me.
Barney, listen to me, please. It's all in your mind. Barney, please listen. I love you.
I can hear voices. Voices miles away. The animals talk to me, and I understand them. I understand them. They're afraid of me. Afraid of me.
Yes, I know. Barney, go to sleep. You're tired.
Tired? Tired? Yes, I'm tired.
I'm tired too. Very tired.
Apparently, this film was shot in 10 days. And it appears they wasted 9.
Till the night. When it's night, I'll show you the jungle. Then you'll know I'm telling the truth. What do you want?
We cannot go on working for you.
Why not?
It isn't safe. There's an animal around. We're afraid. We almost caught it in a trap, but it got away. Now none of my men will go to the jungle anymore, as long as it is alive.
What does it look like?
It. We don't know. We just came to get our pay. We're going to move away from here to Edward Songer's place.
Sure. You can have your pay. I won't stop you.
Yours, 2 weeks' pay. That's all.
Okay.
Your hands.
What's the matter with my hands?
It looks like dry blood.
And that's what amounted to 2 weeks' pay?
Drink it down.
He should have quit a long time ago.
Take it. It'll calm you.
I'd be frightened if I weren't so unhappy.
He thinks he's a jungle animal. What kind of animal?
He says he can kill. He was rational up until a few days ago.
You must face the truth, Dina. There's no sense in running away from it. I can't quite make it out. He'd act that way if he'd been poisoned. These natives have many ways of driving a man out of his mind. There are drugs that cause hallucinations, schizophrenia, manic depression.
But who would want to poison him? And why?
I'm going to look into it.
I don't.
That could open up some really fun movies, if that's true.
Taro thinks that Barney murdered Klaas.
It.
He's convinced of it.
And you?
I'm certain. Barney killed Klaas, and it was no accident. It was premeditated murder. You don't want to see it because you're in love with him.
I am in love with him.
He has to be put away. He's dangerous. It might be his conscience that's driving him out of his mind. He likes the jungle. Believing that he's an animal, he thinks he has the right to kill.
I have a hard time believing that one.
Sooner or later, he'll turn against you.
I'm not afraid.
But don't you understand? As long as you are alive, you will remind him of his crime.
I told you. I'm not afraid.
It's my duty as a doctor to have him placed behind bars.
Your duty or your desire? You want to get rid of Barney. You're in love with me, aren't you, Viet?
Well,
Yes.
love might be carrying it too far, but
First day, Klaas brought you to his house.
I'm sorry. Don't you understand that I can't live without Barney? We belong together. He's my husband. For better, for worse.
The servants have run away.
They have?
All the workers have quit. Everyone's gone. Why don't you leave?
I can't.
Sure you can. You're free.
That's what Viet told me. That I can go wherever I want. That I'm free.
He's right.
I told him that I belong to you. And only death can part us.
Death can't touch me. I just started to live. You don't know the jungle.
Now I do. And I hate it. I hate it more than any woman that would take you away from me.
What else did your doctor tell you?
He said you killed Klaus.
Did he?
Tara thinks so too.
I don't care. They won't find me.
I will. I'm going with you.
You wouldn't like it out there. You haven't got the eyes to see or the ears to hear. It wouldn't protect you. You hate it. That's why it hates you.
Don't go. Let's stay here. Don't go tonight. We'll go tomorrow together. Remember the night you said you loved me? You said you'd always love me, always. You said you'd always remind me that you loved me.
Bonnie!
How do you like my jungle?
Oh, let's go back, Bonnie, please.
I'll never go back. Never.
Competition's good. We'll just do better movies. Besides, I won't be doing it on Sunday.
Go on. Why don't you shoot? You can't miss. But you won't make me go back. You and I don't belong together anymore. Bye, Dina.
Dina, where are you? Dina!
4 minutes left and still no gorilla.
Norina! Not a soul around. Servants must have gone too. I expected that as soon as I found this. What is it? It's the Pays de Guan plant. Al Long had it all the time. It's the poison she used on Barney Chavez. She wanted to take the law in her own hands. Dina must have followed Barney into the jungle. Right. Well, how can we find them at nighttime? I know my jungle, Doctor. Out there, my senses are those of an animal. Come.
Hey there, French Baron. I'm with you, brother. I'm calling gorilla bullshit on this. Oh, drink. That was stock footage. I don't think they had a budget for a gorilla costume.
Over there.
Yep. They scraped up enough money for a costume. Must have been a rental. And they could only get it for the one day they needed to shoot it. These guys blasting away like Dirty Harry into the trees. They don't even know if they're going to hit the woman.
Like something that has been haunting the world for millions of years, the jungle has risen to punish Barney Chavez for his crime.
Well, ouch. That movie was terrible. Bride of the Gorilla, my ass. There was no gorilla until the very end. Just a bunch of people standing around talking. They didn't show anything. Man, oh man, that was. You know what I figured out on this one is that the copyright did not expire on this. They just probably never filed one because nobody would want it. Who would want a copyright on this piece of shit movie? Holy cow. "56 minutes too long, in my opinion." Yeah, I agree. There wasn't even one scene where you could say, "Oh, well, that was interesting," or "That's some good dialogue." Dr. Mass says It's Alive was slightly better, but 45 minutes longer, too. Yeah, but at least it was in color. They had to have shot the girl. They were blasting away into that tree. Didn't the one guy have a shotgun? Certainly a rifle. And the other guy had a pistol, and he's blasting away. I really wish The Vampire Ghost was in public domain. It has a great Star Trek connection with John Abbott. Yeah, I'm going to look up some more of these, but I'm also going to go on that Twitch and take a look at and see what the deal is with that. Everything happened off camera. The opening scene after we get past all the stock footage is the house is all torn up. Well, who tore that up? Because the curse wasn't on this guy yet. And why didn't we see something? That would have at least been some lead-in action into the story. But no, it's tell it and don't show it, and use your imagination. Terrible filmmaking. Kurt Siodmak, he should give back his Wolfman money. And his brain that wouldn't die money. H is for heretic. You're not wrong. It is like a modern day Marvel comic. Bunch of people talking. Gorilla shit would have been a better name. Vaughn, there's a reason these are in public domain. Every once in a while, you get a decent one that fell into it, or they filed it wrong and it lapsed and got in there. Like the one we watched last week, Last Man on Earth, and Night of the Living Dead. That's another one that's public domain because they put the wrong copyright date on it or something. Phyllis Freep says I was late, but now I wish I'd been later. Dan Genovese says I still had fun with you all. That's the whole point. It's fun. Just sit around watching these things together. Yeah, I don't even think so. If they told this same story, who cares? Who would have thought that a Lon Chaney movie would be bad? Those Inner Sanctum movies are pretty bad. French Baron says the film was sold in a lot of countries, 15 actually. It probably did make money because it didn't cost them anything to make it. So the profit margin had to have been hit pretty quickly. You know, you stick these in drive-in theaters and, you know, as a second run theaters or the B picture after an A picture or C picture, actually. I could see where a movie like this would probably make money. And Frenchie was not one of the 15. Yes, Last Man on Earth is worth a watch. We talked about the Omega Man this morning on 31 Days of Monsters. That was the second version of Richard Matheson's I Am Legend book. The first version was Last Man on Earth. And then the third version is the Will Smith I Am Legend. The closest one to the book is the Vincent Price Last Man on Earth. The Omega Man is completely off the rails story-wise. And the Will Smith one is too. Although in the Omega Man and the Will Smith one, at least they got his name right as Neville instead of Morgan. Rusty the Boy Wonder had a lot of fun riffing this one with us. Excellent, excellent. Oh, I can't believe a 4 out of 10. There's no way I could get a 4. That's way too high. My review this morning was a no on that. It's very dated. And it lacks the real fears that is expressed in the Last Man on Earth, which is it's much better. This one is very 70s. Heston's good, but again, I don't feel like he's this man that's just trying to survive like Vincent Price was in the original. Okay, my friends. So I'm going to look up some other movies. I'm going to look into that Twitch thing, and I think we'll do this again next week. These are a lot of fun. Even after Halloween, we can still do, and maybe even explore different genres. Do some Westerns. I'd like to stay with the horror or thriller stuff. Those are a lot of fun. Sci-fi, if we can find some of that stuff. And if the Twitch deal is right, like Jasper says, that we can view anything that's on Amazon Prime, then that opens up a window to a lot of good movies that we can actually talk about and share information on. So this is good. This is going to be a fun new thing, I think. And thanks for everybody for coming out and spending some time. Please, before you leave, make sure you hit that like button and the subscription button if you haven't done so yet to subscribe to the channel. And thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow morning. I only had one vote, I think, for Kolchak because we did do it, but I think there's a lot of new folks here in the chat. What do you think, guys, before you go? Kolchak or I Am Legend? I think it should be a Hyper Kaiju says, let's do Night Stalker. Going once. Going twice. H is for Heretic, says Kolchak. Pete 2E. And Rusty the Boy Wonder are all Kolchak. Evil One says anything but I Am Legend. All right. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the Night Stalker tomorrow. Be much more fun. Great cast, great script, well shot, and a Star Trek connection. So we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, my friends, for 31 Days of Monsters. It'll be day 27. Boy, the time is flying. Just a reminder, we have 6 days left on the first 30 of Ghost of Matacumba Key. So if you haven't backed that, please click the link in the description of this show, or just search my name on Indiegogo, and it should come up. I'd appreciate your support and backing this thing. We actually close out, I think, Halloween night. So get on board. And we'll see you tomorrow, gang. Bye-bye.